Good evening. I had a lot of time today. I went to mediation in Oakland and I took the train down and I took the train back, and I had a lot of time to sit there on my phone and look at stupid shit. And some of the stupid shit I looked at was this video by James Freeman. He is urging people to contact Governor Parson to ask for a pardon for Jeff Winehouse, who is, and I'm quoting here, an effective advocate for truth and justice. He must be silenced. And that made me think, why haven't I heard of this effective advocate for truth and justice who must be silenced? And I realized pretty quickly after Googling Jeff Winehouse, and I just go ahead and do that right now if you're so inclined, you will see that the sovereign citizens are very enamored of Jeff Winehouse. But why do they need a pardon? And that is a good question. Because if you read this, and I'll link this obviously, this is in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Now, before you get excited thinking this is an actual news story, you should read that content is submitted and reviewed before posting, but not verified for accuracy. It is contributed by Voice of Truth, and this is full of bullshit. And I can tell you it's full of bullshit because read the true story and then read this piece, Jeffrey Winehouse, or this piece, Winehouse v. Steele, and you'll see that the trial court with a jury came to completely different opinions. So why does he need a pardon? Well, he was tried in a jury trial and convicted by a jury of his peers of possession of marijuana, which is a misdemeanor, less than 35 grams, possession of morphine, which was a felony, and it was more than one pill, by the way. And I believe it was assault on a law enforcement officer and an additional charge of some sort of criminal, use of a firearm or something like that. Now, all of these sentences run together, and two of the sentences are for 30 years, so this dude's in jail for 30 years. Well, why doesn't he appeal? Well, he appealed his criminal conviction. This is State v. Winehouse. This is the Missouri Court of Appeals, Eastern District, in January of 2015. He was convicted in 2012, just in case anybody fucking cares. This happened in 2012, right? And there's no error of law. Conviction is affirmed. Well, then this genius sovereign citizen, he's got time. He's in jail. It's ineffective counsel, right? It's ineffective counsel. And you could read this one. This is a good one to read. This is Winehouse v. Missouri. This is the appeal from the ineffective counsel. This goes over the actual facts, all of the facts. This explains why Sergeant Folsom was there. This explains that both of the officers smelled marijuana. This explains the extent of the threats that Winehouse made. This explains why the officers were there. It wasn't a printing press. It was a setup to get Winehouse arrested. It explains that Winehouse suggested the place. And it suggests that every theoretical defect that this story covers is immaterial. I almost said imma-fucking-terial, but I don't know if that's a word. But it's immaterial. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't address any of the elements of the crime. You have to rebut an element of the crime. If the state proves the elements of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt, then anything else is immaterial. The officer might cheat on his wife. He might lie on his taxes. He might tell women at the bar he has a 12-inch dick when he really only has a 4-inch dick. It doesn't matter. He could be the biggest liar in the world as long as they prove the elements of the crime. The jury watched the video. The jury came to the conclusion Winehouse was guilty. Well, Winehouse wasn't done yet. Winehouse filed a federal case trying to get the federal courts to review it. And he did it wrong. He did it wrong. He should have filed a writ of habeas corpus. This is saying you should have filed a writ of habeas corpus. File a writ of habeas corpus. So he files a writ of habeas corpus. In the federal district court, this is in August of this year. So, I mean, these things take a while to get through the system. The federal district court issues a 32-page rebuttal of every single claim that Winehouse has made. 32 pages. Yes, I'm still scrolling. I want you to understand the impact of this. And links will be in the description. And yes, I've read it. But no, I'm not going to read you 32 pages. Plus all the other bullshit. Because that just takes too long. But there's 32 pages that they rebut. 32 pages. He doesn't have a good case. He's a sovereign citizen. He has a sovereign citizen case. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit who did piece of shit stuff. And it's reflected in every single court case. He made threats. Those threats didn't amount to enough, but the subsequent bullshit he did amount to crimes. He had marijuana. This propaganda piece even admits they found marijuanas. I think I was on it, but whatever. A minuscule amount of marijuana and a prescription pill. It was more than one pill, and they found marijuana in at least 2 locations. They found I think a tin of marijuana and a bag of marijuana. But it doesn't matter. They found it. It's a misdemeanor. He would have been facing, I don't know, whatever you'd get for having a small amount of heroin, but he drew a fucking gun. A jury found he drew a gun. A jury reviewed the evidence. They watched the video. They listened to the video. So you can call that governor, Governor Parson, if you want to. But you've had a trial court look at this. You've had an appeal court look at this. You've had a motions court look at this. You've had an appeal court look at it again from a different angle. You've had a U.S. District Court look at it. You've had a U.S. District Court look at it again from a different angle. All of them have said, fuck off. He did actually petition for a writ of certiorari to the Missouri Supreme Court, which was denied. He's got nothing. The justice system has said this guy's guilty as fuck. All that we have on the other side are assertions and propaganda. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.